Welcome back to Danilo2, the channel where I talk about the same stuff that I do on my main channel, but everything's just a little bit worse. Today we're taking a look at 4 different rolls of film that I shot, a roll of Portra 160 and 3 rolls of these disposable cameras, and yeah. First we're going to start off with the Portra roll, which has a lot of family pictures that I can't really share, but hey. We begin in Cairns with these shots, which are nice blues. I really like the color of the water. And it's 2 shots that I took here. I'm slowly working on my review. I guess I'm getting to know it before I make the review. This shot's cool. That's a lot of dynamic range that we have there. Like these highlights and these shadows, that's a lot. And the shadows there and there. There's a lot going on. It's a cool shot. There's my friend Rika. There's my sister. I was on an island and it just keeps going on and fades into nothing in the distance. It's pretty cool. Here's some shots of my friend Regan. I missed the critical focus, but those skin tones are looking great. It's a bit warm. I can always correct that in Lightroom. It's not the best of photographs, but it's interesting. This is just a bad photo. I like this one. It shows the kind of everyone doing the van life thing at the beach and an aeroplane coming through. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like these scenes. On this day, I wished I had a telly on me because I could have gotten really cool shots of people, but I only had a wide lens with me, so it's kind of this weird observing kind of perspective. Here's the rock. Those are interesting colors. The blue's this pale look that you get with Portra when you're overexposed. This is nice, and the light's getting even nicer for these shots in particular. Now, next shot, we're in a car, I guess. I tried to see what I could capture. It's out of focus, not the best photo. And here we are in Brisbane. And this is in the valley because I needed to finish the roll to shoot another roll of film. That's a nice shot. I don't mind the in the car thing. I think this is a better realized version of what I tried to do a few shots ago. And there's Tane. And then we have this shot finally. This is nice. I like how the bus kind of interrupts. And that's where the roll ends. So yeah, from there, I guess we move on to the point and shoot stuff. If I have to guess based on these 3 images, I'd say that on the left is the Fuji Superior Premium. In the middle, just off the warmth, I'd say is the Kodak, which would mean on the right we've got the Ilford thing. I tried to get, a good composition, but you can see how much it varies. Like they're slightly different focal lengths. But it's very hard to get level because the viewfinders aren't amazing. And hey, at least I consistently got my finger in all 3 shots. Yet again, this looks like the Fuji. This is probably the Kodak. I still think the same thing. Okay. Now I'm thinking this might be the Kodak, just looking at the greens here. I'm pretty confident that's still the Fuji, though. And I got my finger in shot. Now that performs like Kodak, in my opinion. That's definitely Fuji by the redness in the face. And that looks like trash. So I presume it's the Ilford color, which isn't made by Ilford. I'm making a whole review about it. Oh, okay, this is interesting. See, these 2 are very similar. Well, in this shot, I say these guys are similar. I don't know. I will know what they are for the review. It's just the way my lab does it. They don't actually give me the number until I get the negatives back. Interesting how it couldn't handle... That's got motion blur, which leads me to think that this might be the Kodak, because the Kodak has a... Oh, but I gotta look up the shutter speed. I don't know, actually. That's definitely, this one's definitely the Fuji though. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, there's a shot in the dark, literally. What happened here? Oh, they scanned in the wrong position. Those are 2 different shots. My lab might have to rescan this. That's like, not that there's any detail to look at, but they've mucked up there. Totally. I don't know what just happened there. Here we're looking a bit crazy. This is the flaring, which is interesting. You got circular flare here, and here you've just got a whole wash flare. Very different looks, same shot, so many fingers slipping in. That's it, incredible. I'm still confident this is the Fuji. I just don't know. Okay, we'll go here, here. See, this one, Kodak is at 800 ISO. Like, I feel like this has to be the Kodak. These are all nice shots. Motion blur has showed up twice on the Kodak. I think is the Kodak. That's weird. So I adjusted the shot when I got the second and third. The composition slightly. I got my fingers all throughout that. Gosh. 400 ISO, 800, surely. This is the sharpest one, right? Let's go down where there's, you know, not as much to get in the way. I don't know. Here's this shot, which is very dark, and that's where this one, being the Kodak, I suppose, does best. The only reason I know this is the Fuji is because of it's those magenta highlights. And this has to be the Kodak, especially in these shots, because it's got an extra stop. And then this has a very toy camera energy for the film. It is a toy camera, essentially, a disposable. But the film stock is just there. But it's motion blur. Higher ISO, but more motion blur. What's up with this? I do prefer this, skin tone wise. Bummer that my finger's in shot though. But then as we move on to here, I prefer Kodak skin tones. Fuji, for some reason my finger just didn't land there for these shots, but it did land there for these. And this was for the dynamic range, I guess. So the Kodak seems to have the worst flaring. But if you go dynamic range and capturing detail, it looks like Fuji's, you know, a bit more contrasty. Kodak's a lot more grainy because it is at 800. Chloe doesn't look amazing in these shots. Now this is where this roll ends, but this one I got an extra shot from, which was this. It's actually the one I might send to Chloe that she'll like. What I do find odd is the scanning that happened here. There's a whole, like the border to the image, as you can see, is there. I don't know. My lab mucked up, for sure. That was interesting. Not the biggest fan of disposables, which shouldn't come as a surprise to me. It doesn't really come as a surprise. I like having control over my pictures, and disposables don't give you that. My favorite by far is the Fuji. I have to be careful whenever I use a disposable again to not let my finger slip onto the lens. I guess that's just me being used to bigger cameras and not being used to rangefinders. I think I'm gonna go to my lab now and have a little chat. And I've got half an hour to get there, so I'm gonna go now.